Hello there. Happy Thursday. I'm ready to talk more about poetry with you. By now, you are experts on poetry, and I bet you're an expert on The Road Not Taken. You are going to do a little bit of The Road Not Taken today, but then we get to read another poem, and you really get to practice on something called metaphor, which is a review. So we'll get to that in just a minute. But I want to talk to you today about structure. When I think about structure, I think of a house being built. Okay. And if somebody builds the structure of the house and they miss a part, what will happen? You're right, the house could fall down. It would not be good. Structure, or how things are built, is very important. And you know what? The same is true in poetry. There's a structure or an order that it has to follow. So let's talk about structure today. And we have three parts of poetry structure. Stanza, we've been talking about this one. Do you remember what a stanza is? That's right, it's a section or a verse of a poem. And in each stanza, there are several lines. A line is just one row of words put together in a poem. And so we're going to count some lines in each stanza today. So part of the poetry structure is this stanza or section, the line, which is the row of words, and then we have the rhyme scheme. Have you noticed that many poems rhyme? That means the last words at the end of the line sound the same or similar. They have a different beginning sound, but their end sound is the same. Like skate and plate. Those are words that rhyme. What are some other words that rhyme? How about hat? Can you think of a word that rhymes with hat? Bat, cat, fat. Lots of words rhyme with hat. And so there is actually a scheme or an order that goes to how the words in a poem rhyme. And we're going to explain what that means and practice. So like I said, we're going to take a little bit of a break today in our video from The Road Not Taken, and we're going to use a much shorter poem and one that is a little more silly than The Road Not Taken. And this is by one of my very favorite poets. His name is Shel Silverstein. Have you heard of him before? I really like him. He writes a lot of silly poems for kids. Some are nice and short, like this one, and some are a lot longer. And so we're going to go through this short one today, and it's called The Early Bird by Shel Silverstein. And then we're going to fill out some of these other things and practice poetry structure together. So follow with me as I read. Oh, if you're a bird, be an early bird and catch the worm for your breakfast plate. Oh, if you're a bird, be an early bird. But if you're a worm, sleep late. That's kind of silly. Why should you sleep late if you're a worm? Because if the birds are early and you sleep late, maybe you will miss the birds and they won't eat you. So I like this poem. It's kind of silly. Okay, so it depends on if you're a bird or a worm, if you should be early or late. So let's talk about stanzas. How many stanzas or sections are there in this poem? One. That's right. So when it says what stanza is this, we would say this is stanza 1. And there are no more in this poem, so just one stanza. Now let's go to lines. Okay. We want to count each row. Row is another word for line in this poem. So let's count them together. This is line 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's right. In your bundle today, you are going to do this. You're going to number the lines of The Road Not Taken. And there's a paper in your bundle where The Road Not Taken is written out, okay? And you will go through each line and number it, just like I did out loud right here. And then you'll tell me what number stanza is this. And then the last step that I want you to do is the rhyme scheme. And we're going to identify the rhyme scheme right here in The Early Bird. Okay, so we want to start by finding words that rhyme. Okay, oh, if you're a bird, be an early bird. And now we need to look at line 2 and see if it rhymes with line 1. And catch the worm for your breakfast plate. Nope, they don't rhyme. Okay, what we want to do with a rhyme scheme is we need to name each line with a letter. So we always start with A. So right here, this will be kind of messy, but I want to write A so you can see it. Do you like my A there? There we go. It's kind of an A. Okay. And oh, if you're a bird, be an early bird. Line 1 is always line A. And then if it rhymes, if there's any other lines that rhyme with line A, then they are also line A. So if they have the same letter, they rhyme. Okay, so let's read line 2 and see if it rhymes. And catch the worm for your breakfast plate. Does plate rhyme with bird? No, so it has to have a different letter. And we're just going to use the next one in the alphabet, and that's what you'll do too. So that will be B. Now we're going to read the other 2 lines and see if they rhyme with either A or B. And if they do, we'll give them the same letter. So let's read this one. If you're a bird, be an early bird. Does bird rhyme with bird? Well, they're exactly the same. So that would count as rhyming. So we're going to call that A because it ends with the same word as A, just like that. But if you're a worm, sleep late. Okay, does late rhyme with bird, plate, or bird? Yes, it rhymes with plate. And what letter is that line? It's letter B. So we're going to give this last line letter B also because that word late rhymes with this word plate in letter B. And so our rhyme scheme in this one is A, B, A, B because every other line rhymes. So you will do that same thing today with the road not taken. You'll label the lines, number which one it is. You'll number the stanzas, and then you'll identify the rhyme scheme. I'll give you a hint. Today you will be using A and B like I did, but they might go in a little different order. So pay attention. And if you need help, please let me know. All right. So I am going to go back to this right here so that I can move to the next slide. I hope. There we go. Okay, and you are going to practice using the road not taken. And then also today in your bundle, you are going to practice metaphor. What's a metaphor? We've talked about this before. A metaphor is figurative language where you compare one thing to another thing that is completely different. And this whole poem, The Road Not Taken, is one big metaphor. Remember yesterday we said it's kind of like a would you rather game? Okay, he's got 2 roads in front of him, and the roads are not real roads. They're actually decisions. He is comparing a road that splits into 2 to decisions in life he has to make. Suddenly he feels like he's at a road and he has to choose. Okay, so a metaphor compares one thing, like a road, to another thing, a decision. And those 2 things are not the same, but this author is comparing them. That's a metaphor. All right, so let's do a little practice. And then you're going to do some practice in your bundle today. And this AB just stuck there. That's okay. The classroom is a zoo. What am I comparing? What's the thing or event? That's right, the classroom. So right here, I would write classroom, okay? And the classroom is what? What am I saying that it is? It's a zoo. So I'm comparing a classroom to a zoo. And why am I comparing those 2 things? What am I trying to say? They're very different, classroom and zoos, but they both can be noisy and full of chaos. Okay, so I am saying the classroom is a zoo because they're both noisy. I took one thing, I compared it to something completely different, and in order to say how they were the same. Let's do one more. Maybe. There we go. Do you remember this song, Girl on Fire? We practiced this a few weeks ago when we still got to be together in the classroom. Okay, so what's the thing or event I'm comparing? A girl. Okay, to fire, I'm saying she's on fire. Why? because a fire is big and amazing and mesmerizing. And we're saying the same about this girl. She is amazing and successful. Okay, so we are comparing her to fire, saying that she is just amazing and incredible. Two things that are different, and we made them the same. What metaphors can you come up with today? There's a table in your bundle I want you to fill out and give a reason for it. All right. That is all I have for today. I will see you tomorrow when we wrap up our poetry unit. Have a great day.